Hi, Pep. What's going on, Pep?
What is up? Good morning, everybody. Listen, there is so much going on with sports right now as things begin to get up to speed as we're accustomed to. And 40, you're more of my fight guy. So let's talk about Fight Island real quick because I know UFC is bouncing back in a big way because Dana White always, if anyone's thinking outside the box, he's like way outside the box, literally on his own island for the next fight.
Yeah, Fight Island is going down this Saturday, UFC 251, and over this past weekend, it got a lot better because the main fight was Kamaru Usman. He is the, I believe, welterweight champion?
Yep.
One of the champions.
I believe you're correct.
He was going to be defending that belt against, I forget the dude's name, but wasn't really going to be, it's a time of events, but it was going to be a good fight, not the greatest fight. That guy tested positive for COVID-19. They had to pull a last-minute fight replacement. And it seems like pending a good COVID-19 test, we're going to get Usman versus Jorge Masvidal.
Big fans over here, Pep. He's a maniac.
So again, I think UFC, who's kind of been for the last couple of weeks still operating, finding ways to, even with a positive case, they're finding ways to, push forward with fights, do innovative things. We've got Fight Island, which you told me is like Abu Dhabi, right? Like somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah, it's one of those man-made islands over there in Abu Dhabi. So the fighters have to quarantine in Vegas, which they went into this weekend. They're now there in Vegas quarantining at the UFC headquarters. From there, once they clear their COVID test, I believe, then they fly them over to Abu Dhabi.
Unbelievable.
Beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Fight Island is going down this weekend, and this first Fight Island fight is going to be a hell of one now.
So if you're into sports, man, we got UFC, we got NASCAR, we got golf, we got actual baseball practices taking place. Like there's actually a lot going on, and hopefully we can continue to trend towards actual real games for all of our major, professional sports here in North America. So we do have some updates on a lot of different things. It's all brought to you by Matheson Gas, the gas professionals. 3 locations across the Inland Empire. If you need gas for your backyard, your barbecue, your business, Matheson Gas can help you hook it up. You've got locations in Rancho Cucamonga, one in Fontana, one in Riverside. You can always go to the website if you want to check it out at home as well online. That is mathesongas.com. But if you need propane or any kind of gas or welding supplies or cooling supplies, go to Matheson Gas. They are the gas professionals. So as we move over to baseball for a little bit, man, news is coming out fast and furious right now. Let's talk for a moment about the Dodgers because David Price, who was a big addition, he and Mookie Betts were a huge addition in the offseason. David Price has announced that he is opting out. He just thinks for health reasons it's the safest thing for he and his family. He didn't go into details exactly why. We don't necessarily know, what maybe the conditions are with his family, but the safest thing for he and his family. So we know David Price will not be playing for the Dodgers when they restart, actually just a couple of weeks here in July.
It's unfortunate as a fan, but it is his right to do that.
That's the thing. I mean, it's going to be hard. There's going to be some big names that, and some people on the teams that obviously that we're rooting for that they're going to do it out of concerns for themselves and their futures. I mean, realistically, we're not sure if this virus will eventually break down people's bodies or not. And these guys are like, hey, I've got a very short window to earn money. I got to stay healthy.
Yeah, and David Price, I mean, I'm just pointing him out because he's a Dodger, but there's a handful of guys who have decided not to play when Major League Baseball restarts. But David Price is kind of the big one for Dodger fans. And even if you look at the Halos side of it, maybe the greatest player on the planet, Mike Trout, has said he's not even sure what he's going to do because his wife is pregnant next month. And what's that going to look like when he leaves the team and goes to his wife and then rejoins the team after the birth of their first child?
Well, over the weekend, there was a picture going viral of Mike Trout practicing running the bases while wearing a face mask. And I think it was his mom who retweeted. It's like, hey, if Mike Trout could wear a mask while running the bases, then you could wear one too.
It's scary, though.
Good old mom getting on social media.
Mama Trout getting in there.
But you're right. I mean, Buster Posey, a Giants catcher, like a lot of them are very concerned and haven't really made a final decision at least, what they're going to do when baseball restarts. But they are with their teams. Practices have started. So Major League Baseball is pushing towards that restart with it's not spring training. I guess they're calling it summer camp is what they're calling it right now. So
yeah.
Are they not going 2.0 anymore?
Yeah, summer camp is in full swing for Major League Baseball. To the NFL real quick, and this is kind of with Major League Baseball as well, a lot of attention being brought to not only the Washington Redskins, but the Cleveland Indians, both considering name changes right now, considering a lot of things that are, a hot topic right now in the United States with racial inequality and, are these team names fitting? Both of these teams have had them for a long, long time, but both of them, their ownership and their coaches and GMs have stepped up and said, not necessarily they're going to change it for sure, but they're at least looking into it. They're entertaining the idea, and they're looking into, what would a alternative team name be for the Redskins and the Indians right now.
Yeah, but I kind of like the Washington Warriors, and I know that seems kind of simple with the Golden State Warriors, but I actually think it kind of fits.
The Washington Warriors. I even heard the owner of the Globetrotters wanted Washington Generals.
Right.
And you guys are football guys. Remember the Redskins? I think it was their offensive line. They called them the Hogs.
Yeah.
Remember the Hogs? So
yeah.
If you're trying to find a name that's already associated with the Washington football team, like I don't know if you'd want to be called the Hogs, but man, they were called the Hogs for a while. I think like in the 80s.
Right. I mean, I think the big thing with the whole story is that people got to realize, like, the fans have been pressuring these teams a long time to make these changes. This is kind of the first time that teams have really acknowledged, like, okay, we're going to look into this ourselves for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yes. It's like a self-examination right now. If they changed their name, and if they did, what would that new team name be? So the Redskins and the Indians considering that right now. A couple other professional sports leagues right now with news. Major League Soccer, they start this week. Let's not forget about Major League Soccer on Wednesday. We've got our first day of the tournament, 40.
Yeah,
that's right.
I am so stoked for that. I mean, the MLS tournament's going to be exciting too, man.
I know, it's cool. And I mean, another thing on the buffet, a TV buffet we get.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be in Orlando at Walt Disney's Wide World of Sports, just like the NBA. Yeah. So it's going to be like a bubble, but it's going to be like a World Cup. It's going to be like a little tournament. It's going to look different, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, LAFC is winning that little World Mini Cup.
I think they're the favorite. I think they actually are the favorite going in to the MLS tournament. So we'll see what happens.
No doubt. The 3-2-5-2 got them.
Starts Wednesday. Games start on Wednesday for MLS. NHL announcing, and they have to approve it, but Edmonton and Toronto will be the two hub cities for the NHL Stanley Cup tournament. So if you're a hockey fan, both of those hub cities will be north of the border when they restart. Looks like games will start on August 1st. So again, like the end of July, August 1st is when it'll be all the leagues, all the games seems to be happening all at once. It's kind of that one time window, that time frame.
Smart to have them up in Canada where they're having a lot lesser of an issue with the virus.
I got to be honest, though. No LA teams and no American cities. I'm probably going to pass on hockey this year.
Ouch, baby.
And finally, NASCAR keeps rolling on like the PGA and UFC. There are some things taking place. And Jimmy Johnson actually tested positive for COVID-19. Probably the biggest NASCAR name that we've seen test positive. So he did not race at Indianapolis this past weekend. But Kevin Harvick, another one of the older guys in the Cup Series, he won again at the Brickyard. He was kissing the bricks again on Sunday. And, man, chalk up another one for the older guys. He is your Cup points leader. And he seems to be getting better with age. I don't know what it is, but Kevin Harvick is the guy to beat right now for that Cup Point Series lead.
Man, I love it. That is our sports right there. I can't wait for it to all start.
You guys are burying the lead. We had 2 new world records set this weekend for hot dogs consumed. Come on. Joey Chestnut was 75, and what is her name? Miku Sudo with 48.5.
Yeah, but 75 hot dogs, Pat.
Man, I love hot dogs as much as the next guy, but that kind of grosses me out.
Oh, it's the grossest 10 minutes in sports for sure.
It is, and you know it's in hot dogs, right? I'll leave you with that thought. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Inland Sports all over social media. That's Inland Sports on YouTube as well. We don't talk about the gross stuff, only the good stuff in the IE.
Thanks, Pep.